And, we finished talking about the map, and, he's like, is there anything else? And I pause, and I'm like, he actually turns around, and I'm like, one more thing, Professor. And, I'm like, it really makes me uncomfortable that you bring up things so much that you would say, like, you would like this person, she's a lesbian, because that's just not appropriate. It's not cool. It's really awkward to say that I would like someone just because, like, I'm like them based on this characteristic. I think I used the example of, like, you wouldn't say, like, I would like her, that like, if I was black, I would like them because they're black. Like, the same rule applies. Like, it doesn't make it okay just because it's sexuality. Which is, and one more thing, getting heated, I said, and I'm not a lesbian because I'm not a woman. And he was like, what? He had a very strong reaction with a very strong H sound. And, even though I had explained this, and I told him I had thought I explained it, he's like, oh, that's not how you portrayed yourself before. And it's like, even though I came to him and I told him about my name change, and he respected the name change, but didn't respect, like, pronouns and stuff, he didn't understand what I was saying when I was explaining why I changed my name, and, it was just a really awkward moment, and I could tell he felt bad. He's not a bad man, he's just him. It was just so awkward. And how that plays into how I've been upset lately is there's these so many small instances and not small instances, and actually rather large instances where it just reinforces that I have such a diminished control over how people view me, and that, like, the influence over my gender in terms of what people attribute my gender as is so low, because our systems of gender are so strong, and it makes me feel powerless, and I've tried really hard to establish myself and to let people know and to explain to people and get them to understand my identity, and, like, it doesn't work very often. Well, it doesn't work a lot of the time, and it's just so frustrating. It makes me feel like shit. And then that this problem is something that would come up, like, say if I were to die as a victim of, like, transphobic violence, then, like, they would talk about, oh, lesbian woman killed. And it upsets me. It's like, even as I die, I lose, you know? Where even if I was killed as a result of my gender identity and my gender presentation, it wouldn't be acknowledged. And who I am wouldn't be acknowledged. And, another thing that's been bothering me, is I'm the president of our, like, pride group on campus. We're a GSA, but we don't call ourselves that. And I've been getting a good bit of criticism about, like, why do you have to make this so angry? because we're planning for the Transgender Day of Remembrance. I'm like, why does it always have to be so sad? I'm like, this is a memorial. It's a demonstration to spread awareness about violence and prejudice. And in doing this, like, we're talking about and we're reading articles and stories and experiences of people who share a lot of my experiences, and some of these people are people I know, and some of the things they talk about have happened to me. Like, of course I'm gonna be upset if I'm not being angry. You'll know when I'm angry. And it's really just distressing, and it makes me feel like no matter what I do, I'm not going to receive validation, and I should have self-validation, and I do have self-validation, and, like, I'm firm in myself now, and I've worked hard to get there, but it's still, to get people to recognize an issue, and to, like, incite them to have some sort of change in themselves, or in, like, society level, there has to be some sort of validation, and I feel like so many times transgender issues are brushed off. They're kind of, like, swept under the carpet of the gay community, or it's just given this, well, it's such a few number of people, or, well, it doesn't actually apply to anybody, or these people are just freaks, you should be a certain gender. There's all these different degradations of transgender issues, and it bothers me, and that's what I wanted to unload, and I thank you for your patience, because that took a hot minute.